Hello, welcome to the Everyday Vegan Show. My name is Allie and I'm an everyday vegan. On this channel, I show you how to prepare animal-free delicious foods. I'm no chef, so I do not claim to make anything complicated or fancy. In fact, we'll be making dishes out of items that you can find in an average pantry or refrigerator. So, if you like to cook, or you're wanting to cook more, or looking to try some yummy vegan foods, I invite you to stick around. Today, we'll be making a vegan pad thai with tofu and a homemade peanut sauce. This is a homemade version of a commonly ordered takeout classic. It is kind of nutty and sweet. It's also savory, and it's pasta. So it's an excellent dinner dish for the weekday, or even a treat to have on the weekend. If you like this video, please hit the like button and comment. If you'd like to see more content like this, click the subscribe button and the notification bell. All right, let's go ahead and get started. For today's recipe, we will be using 2 bunches of green onions or scallions chopped, 2 cups of purple cabbage shredded, 3 cloves of garlic minced, and 2 carrots ribboned. We'll also be using 1 block of extra firm tofu, and we'll be cubing that. Please feel free to use whatever texture you like, but we like extra firm here at the Everyday Vegan Show. Also, we'll use about half a package or 8 ounces of your favorite pasta and just prepare it as your instructions say. And for the pad thai peanut sauce, there will be about 1.5 tablespoons of maple syrup, 3 tablespoons of tamari or soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of creamy peanut butter, and 1 tablespoon of lime juice. And then to garnish, we'll be using whole peanuts or crushed, whatever you have available in your pantry. For the green onions, we're going to just do a nice rough chop. You're going to get all of the tops of the leaves and then down with most of the white part. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and mince that garlic down as small as we can. As you can see, I like to smash mine first. I find it easier to chop that way. And then we're left with the small cuts like these. We're going to shred the purple cabbage with a vegetable peeler or shredder. That way we can get the finer shreds with this method versus using a knife. Using the same vegetable peeler, you're going to create ribbons out of your carrots because they'll go really well with the noodle shape. Next, we're going to go ahead and chop our tofu into the little cubes that we'll use. This is about the width and the thickness that you'll want for them. They're about, I don't know, 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, but this will be a great size for them to get tossed around in the pasta. All right, let's get cooking. Gonna go ahead and preheat a pan, get some oil in there, and throw the tofu in. So we will be doing a sear on this tofu. So you're gonna want it to sit on it's like on a side of it for quite some time, so we can get some color and get some cook on it. And then you will continue to flip them around in the oil until all the sides are as brown as you want them to be. While we're waiting for all the sides to brown, we'll go ahead and season the tofu with some soy sauce or tamari, coconut aminos, whatever you have. So this will kind of be like what you'll get your sodium from. And then that's about maybe 1 tablespoon, maybe 2, just depending on how much umami or that salty taste you like. The next thing we're going to throw in here is a toasted sesame oil. That's going to add a little bit of like a seedy or kind of nutty flavor to the tofu. And it's just really nice when it mixes in with your peanutty pad thai sauce that we're going to make here in a minute. And again, this is meant more for flavor versus like cooking. Like it's not a cooking oil. Well, some people cook with it, but in this situation, we're just using it for flavor. So as you can see, our tofu is getting browned on all sides. And again, once it gets to that color and texture that you like, we can go ahead and take it out and start cooking the vegetables. So, green onions are in first with a little bit of oil, and we're gonna let those sweat down a little bit before we toss in the garlic. And we're gonna just toss that all in at once. And give that a good swirl, and then when it gets nice and fragrant, we can go ahead and add in our shredded cabbage, and dump it right on in there, and give that a good stir, and you'll start to see the cabbage wilt a bit. And once it's just nice and wilted, we can go ahead and turn that off and work on the sauce. You can see my bowl is still wet. That means it's clean. But we're going to go ahead and start adding in the ingredients. So I start with the peanut butter as the base, and then go ahead and add in that soy sauce. You'll see I'm not adding in all of the ingredients at once because I may want to doctor it up as I go along. You know, maybe adding a little more salty, maybe cut it with some lime, etc., etc. So next we'll toss in the lime juice, and then we'll add in the maple syrup, and then give it a good whisk until it's nice and smooth. And it may take us a little while, like sometimes even a couple of minutes, before it gets to a nice smooth and rich texture, but I promise everything will incorporate and it will get there. Right, so I like to go ahead and give it a little taste and see where we're at. It is a little sweet for me right now, so I'm going to add in a touch more of our tamari, to give it a little bit more salty. And then it should be good to go and ready to add to our ingredients. Now that our vegetables are cooked and the tofu is cooked, we're going to go ahead and combine those two things together, as well as with the peanut sauce that we just made. And now we're going to want to get everything nice and coated with the peanut sauce. And your burner is on at this point, by the way, because the heat's going to kind of help melt that sauce down, and so it can get incorporated on everything. The next thing we're going to do is add in those carrot ribbons. So I like to think of them as like the first noodle. So we will continue to fold in those carrots, and they'll get just a little bit cooked in this process, but we didn't really want them super done, so we can get a crunch from them. Now, we're going to take that already prepared pasta and begin to add it into the mixture, and then fold until everything is completely incorporated. It, again, just like with mixing the peanut sauce, might take a few reps, if you will, but you will get that sauce, vegetable tofu mixture on every noodle, and it's going to be so worth it. Something that was not on the ingredient list in the beginning is any sort of leafy green, but I do like to add a baby kale or spinach to a dish like this. Like anything where I can add leafy greens, I normally do. The cool thing about this recipe is that you really can put whatever you want in it. I'm a mushroom freak. I often will put mushrooms in a recipe like this. You can add onions on top of the green onions, maybe a red pepper. Literally, the world is your oyster with a dish like this. So once the greens get good and wilted, that's kind of your indication that we are ready to plate it. And here is our final product, our vegan pad thai with tofu made with a homemade peanut sauce. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. If you enjoyed it and would like to see more content like this, please subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell. Bye for now, and love to the love.